Hi, I'm Elizabeth Durazio, and we're joining you today at Headrest at 14 Church Street in Lebanon. And I bet you've driven by this place and wonder, what do they do here? They offer comprehensive, preventative, and rehabilitative services for anyone with a wide range of needs, regardless of the ability to pay. And we're here today joined by one of their board members. I'm sure you've seen him before, but not in this capacity. We're here with Jim Larrick, and I'm sure you've seen him around in his capacity as Vice President of Commercial Lending at Mascoma Savings Bank. But he's here to tell us about why he chooses to help Headrest and how you can too. Thank you for joining us, Jim.
Thank you.
Well, you're a very busy man, and yet you take time to help out Headrest. Explain to us how that works for you.
Well, I moved to the area a little over 2 years ago. And I brought my family, and I wanted to get involved in the community. I started working at Mascoma Savings Bank, which is a community bank, and I was looking for opportunities. Former lenders at the bank had volunteered their time here, so I raised my hand and came to a board meeting, and soon thereafter I became treasurer of the organization, and that was about a year and a half
Didn't know
ago.
what you're getting into, right? Just kind of.
I did not know. No, I didn't know.
But
yeah,
you don't regret it, because I've seen what they do here, and it's a worthy cause.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about what happens here.
Well, I probably best let Sue tell exactly what happens, but it's an organization that helps people with substance abuse. They do outpatient counseling, and they do transitional living for these people. In my capacity as treasurer, I try to make sure that the lights stay on, and we can still function as an organization from a financial standpoint. So Sue and I spend a lot of time together. It's been a changing industry, understanding the insurance markets and everything else. So it's been difficult and a lot of fun, and so in my capacity, Sue and I spend a lot of time on the finances.
Good thing you get along.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you mentioned something that's sort of interesting, is keeping a place like this afloat is difficult because you provide services here regardless of the ability to pay.
Right.
So you're always on the lookout for donors or people who might be able to assist.
Right.
Now, is there an ideal donor, or are you saying anyone could help?
No, I think anyone can help. So the board is full of people that have been with the organization for a long time. So there's a lot of continuity there, and they really brought me into the history of the organization and how it got started. And a lot of the people that really have not only donated time, but have donated a lot of money. And we do have a couple of fundraisers throughout the year. Mascoma Savings Bank is really involved with the Rail Trail Ramble, which is in downtown Lebanon, and we, it's a bike ride that raises money. But Mascoma Savings Bank does the barbecue and gets people to work it, et cetera. So, it's a community involvement, and given its location right in downtown Lebanon, it's a community organization. So, there's a lot of stakeholders that are significant in keeping this place working. So.
Whenever I'm at places like the Haven or like Headrest, I always say it's kind of sad that we need you.
Yeah.
And it is. It's kind of sad that we have to have places that provide services for rehabilitation, or, for instance, the opioid crisis that we're struggling with right now. But fortunately, we do have resources in the community, and we have to give back, and we have to just not take them for granted.
Right.
So one thing I'm trying to do with today's show is look out to all of the employers and small businessmen out there and say, hey, I'm sure you've got family members, friends, and even employees who are probably utilizing the services here. Maybe if you see that as a value to your portion of your business, find a way to give your time and talents just like you have been as well.
Right. No, that's very helpful. I mean, Mascoma's gives a lot of time and money, as well as a lot of other organizations in the area do as well. So that's very helpful. Yeah.
One thing that I'm very much impressed by with the Lebanon community is when there's a need, they fill a need. And community banks like Mascoma, that's kind of in the DNA of a community bank. You're not going to find that from one of the national banks. They have big splashy campaigns they do and everyone wears a t-shirt, but that's few and far between. But community banks, it's in the DNA. You got to get boots on the ground, and you're going to help.
Right.
And that's one thing we're really proud of Mascoma for doing. And like yourself, you said, it's not just a matter of giving money and donations, which is sorely needed, but also time and talent, your skills, in lending to a place like this. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
And I'm sure you're keeping busy with the lending side of it too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if you could find in your heart to give to Headrest, whether it's your time or your talents, make sure you check out their website and talk to Suzanne Thistle. I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. This is a wonderful resource for our community, and unfortunately, there is a need for it, but we're very fortunate to know that we do have them in our backyard to assist us and our family and friends in times of need.